lost and found.
Okay.
So last week we talked about tradition, its origin, and the terrible sides and practices which are synonymous with the tradition of several areas. Traditions that should be totally abolished. And we heard about different cultures, even things I've never heard before. The lady who called, the one that killed me, was the lady who called from Owerri, that their culture does not allow wives to greet their husbands in the morning, that the only time you greet him is when he dies. So if a man says, you are not greeting me, they will tell you that if I greet you, thou shalt surely die. So I have never heard that before.
That one is going to take a while.
So she said when she got married to her husband, she never greeted him in the morning, and that was the first problem they had, when the husband would wake up and say, don't you people, you can't greet, and it was their culture. I have never heard that before. So we agreed that some parts of culture, the terrible aspects of culture, because there are some beautiful aspects of culture and tradition, but those terrible ones should be done away with. We also remember, I always use one of our late gospel singers, Osinachi Nwachukwu, as a point of convergence for domestic violence and abuse and fatalities. That is where a spouse loses his or her life to the husband or wife that they married. She was murdered by her husband. She was killed by her husband on the 8th of April 2022, which was last Wednesday, 8th of April. And we thank God for the court judgment that came. Yes, it's 2022, it's already 4 years. The judgment that came and found her husband guilty last year and was sentenced to death this same month in April. We will do something later in the show to honor her. So today I want to continue to talk about tradition and treat the most sensitive part of tradition, the most powerful part of tradition, the most sensitive part of tradition, which is the worship of elders, which is also under worship of ancestors, but now more refined as the rule of the Oloriebis and the control of parents. Now, for us to know, before I begin, I am also a parent. In fact, my first son is 30 years old. Last Saturday was his birthday that I forgot to wish him, Michael, happy birthday, but thank God for Uncle Jimmy who helped a brother out. So I am also a parent of 4, a father of 4. So before I start with parents, know that I am also one. Now, the parent, first of all, we know on the other side of being a parent, there's the good, the bad, and the traditional one is what I want to talk about, the worship of elders, also known as worship of ancestors, the rule of the Oloriebis, the control of the parents. Now, in marriage, parental intervention accounts for about 40% of the breakdown and failure of marriages. That is 31% by mothers-in-law and 9% by fathers-in-law. To round it up, we say 30% mothers, 10% fathers. So a combination of this, which is 40% of the failure of marriages in Nigeria today, has some kind of interference by parents. So I tell people free of charge, if you want to marry into a family and the mother-in-law or father-in-law does not like you, your marriage already has a 40% chance of failure by default. They account for 40% of marital failures. Now, it shows you that parental authority, parental influence springs into marriage itself. Now, under the topic of tradition, under this our worship of elders, the rule of parents, I would also show that in domestic violence, when children are in abusive marriages, research showed that parents, by statistics, 79% of parents will tell their children to remain in an abusive marriage. Only 21% will tell their children to leave an abusive marriage or help their children out of an abusive marriage. It is even worse when parents will refuse their daughters, especially, to come back to their father's house when they are, or they married wrong, or they are in an abusive marriage. 79% of parents will tell their children to remain. That is, 79% of parents will gladly sacrifice their children on an altar of marriage. It is a sad statistic. Last year, on the 8th of March 2025, one of our callers here, David from Ibeshoriade, said live on this show that if his child dies in a marriage, that death is a part of life. I did not understand. I said, so you would tell your child to go back into an abusive marriage? He says he would not. That day was live on the show. I listened to it again today, this morning, before I came, and that showed us live here. I hope he has changed his mind, and I don't know if I were his child, listening to him saying that on national radio. If I were his child, I don't know how I would feel hearing that. But I hope he has changed his mind. 79% of parents would rather their children remain in abusive marriages than help them leave or take them back, especially the girls. So now let me ask, who therefore is a parent? Oxford defines a parent as a person's father or mother, or someone who looks after a person in the same way. Merriam-Webster defines a parent as, number one who begats or brings forth an offspring. Number two, a person who brings up or cares for a child. Number three, one who legally adopts a child. So there are three ways you can be a parent. That is to give birth to the child. Two, you are the one who raised the child, maybe from childhood into adulthood. Then number three, the one who legally adopts a child. So the fact that you gave birth to a child does not make you a parent. Neither does bringing up the child nor adoption, because if there are three ways, then it means there are three different possibilities. Now, a parent is defined as a person's father or mother. Who is the mother? Mother is defined as one who carries the pregnancy or gives birth to the child. The father is the cause of a pregnancy, or the male parent. The father is the cause of the pregnancy. Now, the function of a mother is to nurture a child. The function of a father is protection, provider, and instructor. The Latin word for father is patra, which from that we derive the word paternity, patron, and patriot. It's from the Latin word patra, P-A-T-R. Now, the anomaly here is where the parents who are supposed to be the protector of their children now insist that the children go back and remain in an abusive marriage. And they always give traditional reasons, number one, religious reasons, number two, and social reasons. The social reasons are the most ridiculous. Saying, what will I say in my group? What will I say in my association? That my daughter or my son is back? You know, what will my friends say? That is the most ridiculous excuse of a parent. What will your group say? Do you know what other parents in the same group are going through? So your group is more important. It is always religion, tradition, or social status. Now this, by the way, is an anomaly, because in the animal kingdom, every parent protects their children by instinct. When a chicken lays an egg, you cannot go near, it will attack. When a dog lays a puppy, you cannot go near, they will attack. I have been chased by a lizard before. I never seen that before. But I went to a boarding school, and when we were doing our portion, that is cutting grass, a lizard charged towards me in a way I had never seen. So I moved backwards. It was very strange. And someone said, I must be close to its hive where it laid its eggs. Every creature will attack anyone coming near their young, except for human beings, which is supposed to be the apex of the animal kingdom in intellect. Are parents not supposed to fight for the safety of their offspring? I do not know why this is even a topic for discussion. Why? Because by nature, by instinct, a parent is programmed to protect the child. But the only thing that affects instincts are, number one, tradition, number two, religion. Religion and tradition are the things that will not make you respond to the instinct of fear or flight. In religion, the good shepherd left 99 sheep to look for one that was missing. The prodigal son's father welcomed him back home with celebration. But the so-called Protestant and Pentecostal will rather watch and send back their children to abuse, or admonish to remain in abuse, when God himself sacrificed his only begotten son to save the lives of his children. I do not understand. This is an anomaly. And if you know what an anomaly it means, an anomaly is simply deviation from normal or the usual order. Now, the anomaly in parenting is that 79% of parents will tell their children to remain in an abusive marriage. It is simply amazing. Now, the worship of elders, that is the Olori Ebis, it is also funny to think that the wisdom of Solomon had something to do with the age of Methuselah. It is a historical, settled fact that age does not mean wisdom. So we say that the wisdom of Solomon has nothing to do with the age of Methuselah. It tells us that wise people grow old and also fools grow old. And unfortunately, if you have a fool as the head of your family, as the Olori Ebi, then be prepared for foolish decisions, foolish directions, which tradition will now make you follow. When you know that the pilot of your aircraft is not qualified to be a pilot and you still enter the plane, it means that you are ready to commit suicide. You know that what they are saying is not right, but according to tradition, you have to follow. I don't know, when you are compelled to drink poison, you know it is poison, but because of tradition, you drink the same poison. Age does not mean right. there is a very good reason why they say wisdom is always profitable in the areas of direction. Wisdom is the using of knowledge. Knowledge is knowing facts. Facts are things that have been proven to be true. A lot of people in the areas of relationships and marriages have been misdirected, misguided by so-called family decisions. Family decisions often cancel wise counsel. They often go against wisdom, where it is the Oloriabi, the head of the family, who by tradition has the right to command. So, unfortunately, if you have let me be sure that before someone calls in, like a gentleman called me and said, I said something on air, I said it is an exercise in stupidity, and he came up to say I am, well, let me try to, in 1 second, define what a fool is, so that you don't take it personal. A fool, according to the Cambridge Dictionary, is a person who lacks good judgment, sense, or wisdom, often acting in a silly or stupid manner. So I found out that the word fool, stupid, and idiot mean the same thing. Merriam-Webster defines a fool as a person lacking in judgment or prudence. So when we say fool, it is not so much so as derogatory, it is referring to lack of good judgment. And I need you to understand that, because I will be using that a lot. It means lacking good judgment. You know that this person lacks good judgment, but because he is the oldest in the family, because he is the Oloriebi, the head of the family, then you have to go according to, how would I put it? According to bad judgment. And the worst thing is that you already know that it is bad judgment, but you have to. So it poses a problem of tradition, where, oh, I am the head, so you must.
Mason from Honey and Banana Connect. Just dial 7790 for free.
Mr. Val turned it off.
Wow. This man will be back.
We just a little technical difficulty in the background, but Barrister Olumide is still here, and he was saying before the ads interrupted.
Sorry about.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. It's a technical
difficulty.
No, it's my magic.
Technical glitch.
Technology. So,
technology.
Yes. So, this is what we are faced with when the worship of elders begin to interject on good judgment and decision. Now, when matters now start getting serious and about their children leaving, there was a particular one that said, you know what, let us pray. So when you are in a matter and people now start using that word, let us pray, I have come to realize that when you are buying them gifts and sending them money, they do not say, let us pray, they collect. But when the children are in abuse and want to leave, they now use, let us pray first. Whenever you hear this from anybody, they are about to use religion to exchange for virtue from you. They are about to use religion to take wisdom. They are about to use religion to take good judgment. They use God because when we hear God, we lower our defenses. When we hear Jesus, we lower our defenses. That is why it is so easy to fall into religious manipulations. They want to use religion and God to tell you to remain in suffering. If you make that mistake, may you not die in that mistake. One other thing they say, especially the Yorubas, is "Kò ń ṣojú lásán." That is, it is not normal, it is not ordinary. That this thing is spiritual. There is no such thing as spiritual abuse. It is a person committing a crime. If you now say it is spiritual, then on the day of judgment, when a person who has murdered someone and you say, oh, it's spiritual, that means he should also escape the judgment of God, because it wasn't his fault. It was a spiritual matter. So you have given God an excuse for murder, for abuse, for all kinds of sins. Let me say, when you keep saying "Konshoju," what does that mean? It is not normal when it is a normal person doing it. Spiritual means our eyes cannot see, and what we know is that you cannot. When they use this thing to let me. I'm sorry. Hold on. Today is a mixture of fantastic emotions here. They keep, like one time, they were telling us that each time I went there, because I was in my church, I was the leader of the men, I was the president of the men. It was called the Men of Impact. I was the president. And when there was an issue, they kept telling us, we have to deal with it spiritually before we would go into the matter. Not everything has, the spiritual controls the physical. And this excuse at that time made people escape law, escape responsibility. They would say it wasn't them, it was the devil, because the devil, which is the author of "Kò ń ṣojú lásán," is the author of "it was not his fault, it is a spiritual matter," made me go into the Bible, and I saw 1 Corinthians 15:46, which says, the spiritual did not come first, but the natural, and after that, the spiritual. That is in the New International Version. Let me read the King James Version. "Howbeit that was not first which is spiritual, but which is natural, and afterward that which is spiritual." Then New King James says, "However, the spiritual is not first, but the natural, and afterward the spiritual." So in every translation, we see that the Amplified Bible says, however, the spiritual is not first, but the physical, then the spiritual. So when people now start telling me, no, it is the spiritual first, then physical, they have no scripture to back it up. It is not in the Bible. So it tells you, when people want to use that as an excuse, that's why this Bible is concise. It tells you that it cannot be. You have to take responsibility for your actions. The Bible says you shall reap what you sow. God is not mocked. You cannot sow rice and reap mangoes. It is what you do, you will pay for. So let our Oloriebis, the family, know that you cannot keep excusing abuse, especially in your children's marriages. Then the last part of this worship of elders, the control and neglect of parents, is what I call blood escape. Now, blood escape simply means, firstly, that because it is a member of this family that committed the crime and he is related to us, we have to cover up the crime to preserve the family name. They believe that the family name is more important than crime. Firstly, most of them don't even have a family name. When you mention their family name, nobody knows who they are. They just say, Madaibiru, that is, don't spoil the family. Especially in cases of child sexual abuse, domestic violence, and crime. Usually, people who rape children are related to that child by marriage or by blood. So when you find that your child has been sexually abused, and then you are raking who did, and then you just find out that probably your younger brother or your wife's younger brother or your uncle, someone related to. Then you people now withdraw the matter and say that it is a family matter, that you will settle it if in the family way. Now this is where the family goes from protecting the victim to protecting the abuser. So they now start protecting the person who in one way damaged this person. And that is why 1 in every 3 girls, according to the last statistic, I think that was 3 years ago, 1 in every 3 girls in Nigeria will be sexually abused before the age of 18. 1 in every 6 boys will be sexually abused before the age of 12. So we find that the abusers, 83% of the abusers are related by blood or by marriage. But the reason we don't get to prosecute is because the family comes under the guise of blood to protect the abuser, and the abuser still lives in the same house with the victim. That is why now we find that over 60% of our women in prison were sexually abused as children. We find that over 52% of teenagers who are hooked on drugs and alcohol were sexually abused when they were minors. In fact, we were told from statistics, I think it was from the UN page that I read that they always, 21% of people, that is, no, it's not 21%, at the age of 21, almost 40% of the victims who were raped as children tested positive for one mental disorder. It is by trauma, rape, child molestation causes trauma and mental health diseases for its victims, either male or female. The other time we reached out here to talk about this, more men called in to be victims of sexual abuse than women, and how it has affected their marriages. How, in fact, there was someone crying here asking for help that it is affecting his marriage. Why? Because he was sexually abused as a minor. So blood excuses the abuser. To repeat, you should know that for everyone we get, must have done it twice before. And children are not just molested once. It is a repeated episode. Before we have never caught one that molested once. The child, the moment you sexually abuse a child, it is like a lamp that glows in the dark. Pedophiles can identify. Because why? A child that was very lively before suddenly becomes unable to talk. A child that was very brilliant suddenly becomes very dull in class. It begins to affect them. They no longer are who they used to be. If you remember that of Prince at that time, and Baba Jesha. Princess lived in my estate. In fact, her house was 4 houses away from my house. And I knew the child because when my own son was younger, I used to drop the child, my son, when I was going out at Princess's house. So I knew her well. But the problem became when this girl who was so bright started failing in school. Then the child started becoming isolated. Where everybody is sitting down here, she will go and sit down separately somewhere. At that time, they thought it was a spiritual problem. I remember at that time when Princess was calling me that they would do deliverance for this girl, that suddenly, she's changing, not knowing that it was sexual abuse. But then, in the extended family, let me leave that one because that is has become something of controversy for some. But in the wider range, because they are related to you by blood, you now find a way to remove them from accountability. It is called blood escape, and they tell me that blood is thicker than water. Ladies and gentlemen, blood is made up of water. In fact, research, their own science shows that blood makes up for 82% of water. Indeed, if blood is thicker than water, then why don't you marry your blood? You will be safer. Know that blood cannot exist without water, but water can exist without blood. So when you want to bring that kind of poetry to me, saying, you know, blood is thicker than water. No, without water, there is no blood. And then you cannot marry your blood, legally at least. So don't start using blood is thicker than water to excuse crime. Blood escape. This is how several people cover up their family members that are destroying their children. This must have been like 7 years ago. I told you of a case of a 13-year-old that had full-blown HIV, infected by her father's younger brother, who would always travel down at that time from the east to come and clear his goods in Lagos and then go back. When they sexually abuse these children, they threaten them. That is why the children don't talk. If you talk, I will kill you, I will kill your father, this will happen, that will happen. And the child that has not been exposed to that much violence will be afraid and keep quiet, thinking that, if I speak, they will kill my father, and I don't want my father to die. So the child thinks they are keeping their fathers alive by keeping quiet. Some of you have your children even tell you that Uncle so is touching me there. You tell the child to shut up. Shut up. You want to spoil my marriage? They threaten you for even speaking up. So when the child knows that there is no consequence, she becomes open to any form of sexual abuse because they know nothing will happen. So most of these children will call their teachers. A lot of times, almost every month, a teacher in a school will call me that how do we tell, the parent that this girl is saying that they are sexually abusing them in the house. The child will feel safer to tell a teacher in school, call my number, send me a voice note, than to tell their parents. Why? Because these parents are usually covered by religion or tradition, or value the marriage more than the children. Blood escape. Because, so God forbid, I've told my children, the moment you are, whether you go and beat your wife or you are part of any crime, and they say you are Barrister Olumide's son, that day I will disown you. Because I will never come to the police station or anywhere, because I have raised you well enough. You know who I am. I have raised you well enough to be able to avoid crime, to run from abuse, in any way. So I have done my part. After sending so many people to prison, my son does it, and I am now covering up my own son. Meanwhile, there are other people's sons that are in prison because of me. It will not happen. I will not do that. And I think I still mentioned it 2 days ago to my 15-year-old. Blood escape. Worship of elders. The control and neglect of parents in the negative. That is, parents who do not act in the best interest of their children. The statutory, legal definition of child abuse is when parents do not act in the best interest of their children. Number one is neglect. Parents are supposed to love and protect that is their divine duty. That is the only instinct. You see, any animal will fight, even a rat will fight for their, but humans. And why? When tradition or religion takes over reason. it goes against nature. I don't want to, because I still have something to say before we wrap up. Today is a very special day, but let me go to the phone lines first of all. Let us go to the phone lines. My conclusion to those of you who submit to foolish judgment from family, especially because the constitution of authority in your family are by people who are not as educated or exposed. Now, education does not mean emotional intelligence. You have some people who are not educated and smarter than you with all your degrees. But unfortunately, they have no education, they have no wisdom, they have no character to support. And then they begin to decide what happens in the family. It is entering a plane where the pilot is not qualified to fly. You know you are going to crash. It is just a matter of time. And you know the thing about law, you cannot say, it was my family decision. No, it is our culture. You know you can't say that, because the law is above every tradition in this country. Those who will help because he is my son, because he is my sister's niece, and try to turn judgment away from responsibility. You know, one very important, I was told not anyway, it is true. So when people say please don't mention the name, because they can just Google it. The guy was murder. He almost murdered someone. I think eventually the person died. So the father, through the power and influence, tried to smuggle him out of the country. He went and he came back almost 15 years after. You know, he was the one that killed the father. He came back, you know, a junkie, and eventually killed the father for money, because he was asking for money. He did not. If this man had been allowed to go and for his sentence, his term, I don't think he would have been a junkie, because you can't find that much drugs in prison. It is an expensive habit. You understand? He must have been reformed. But at the end of the day, the man ended up killing himself, responsible for what killed him. He died terribly. It is suicide. When you think you can pervert justice, okay, when you are finished with that because you are influential, because you want to, what will now happen at the end of the day? Ladies and gentlemen, worship of elders, especially foolish people, also become old, and then at times they might be the oldest surviving person when every other person has died. Then he becomes the family head. Does that mean you must follow unwise counsel? Does that mean our children, parents will watch their own children in abuse and refuse to help? Refuse to go to the person's house. You say, hey, you want to do it the normal way. We have to first of all go and visit their family. In what way? Or visit the police station. The person ought to first of all be arrested. And then you pack your daughters. God forbid it happen to me. But with the same singing and ceremony my daughter entered into her husband's house, or my son will be with the same singing and ceremony I will do on the way out. I will tell you, there is no shame. We all make mistakes. You probably you didn't look well, you didn't choose well. You learn from your mistake, and you move on. Say, no, I want to, the family has to first of all, and you leave them there. We remember Osinachi today. She had separated for 1 year, 3 months, but because of that, let no man, what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. That was what they quoted. And she went back because of that verse. Today she died. That was the last thing she did. Now, would you say it was God that killed her, the Bible that killed her? No. Because the Bible tells you, flee from all appearances of evil. Today we remember you, Osinachi, your children. You left 4 behind. At the time she died, she was born 1979. She would have been 49. 48.
47.
1979. Oh, -3. Thank you. 47. Ah, we law school. We remember you, Osinachi, and probably give her a moment,
Okay.
and then we go straight to the phone lines. In peace.
We'll be back.
More conversation. More talk.
1 minute gone past the hour of 8 o'clock, but Barrister Olumide Omoshibi is here and he has something to say. And some.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Well, we're back on the phone lines. But please, new people calling. Let's hear some variety for something. Please let those that have called before, please. We will not. We want to encourage new people. We have so many messages from new people, but because the old people, they have a special connection with our phone lines. Please let us free it up for new members. So if you would have any questions, if you want to comment something you want to share with us, go ahead. You have 1 minute. Thank you very much.
All right, the numbers to call 0201 2770993, 0201 465 7190, and of course the WhatsApp line 0809 597 5805. Hello.
Hello. Good morning, buddy.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. Well, good morning, baby.
Good morning, bro.
Yes. Please, I want to share a story because that thing is affecting me right now.
Please
It's about some family.
go ahead quickly, please.
Yes, it's about me and my twin sister. It's just that my twin sister has been in Lagos for the past like 10 years. So then me and my parents we are staying in Jos. So I think the last time we met with her is like 5 years back, and then she was trying to say that she don't want to go back to Lagos because she don't like the treatment that are given her in Lagos. So instead, my father, brothers and all, they can't go back and say that no, because they said that's not even cause divorce between my father and my mom, because my mom wanted her to go, but my father said that no, she has to go back to Lagos. Okay, then fine, she later go back to Lagos. So now me, I'm in Lagos for the past 2 years, and I'm trying my best to reach out to her, but I couldn't reach out to her. In fact, the auntie that she's staying with, based on what I heard, she said that the auntie will go to travel to Canada. Then as the auntie wants to travel, they say let her go back to my parents, but they say no. So right now, I try to reach out to one of my aunts, but anytime I call her, she just keep on putting this complaint and disturbing her. I'm feeling bad about it. I don't know.
I don't understand. Is it your sister no longer wants to talk to any member of the family?
They're the one that are, I'm just 18. They're the one that is covering, like they don't want anything that, I don't know why, because even my mom said.
I don't understand. I don't understand. Who is covering? Where is your sister?
I don't know where she is right now.
So when you call her, what happens?
No, I don't have her number. They don't want to give me. I don't have anything. In fact, even my mom tried to reach out to her. Anytime she called, like my.
The most important.
We don't say, I don't know why. I don't know she that. I don't know anything. I mean, I'm illegal. I don't know anything.
You need to let me understand. Who has her number?
One of my auntie, I think she have her number, but if I ask her the number, she don't put different complaints.
That what? So who knows where your sister is?
Right now, even my dad, that nobody looks in our family. Nobody knows. It's only one of my aunties. One of my aunties. And the auntie that she has just been telling me, I don't know what to do right now.
Wait, did she change the number? Her number?
So let me tell you something. I think last 2 years I called her my auntie. After I call her, so I tell her that I want to reach out to my sister. She said that no, my sister don't have phone. That if she goes to where my sister is, she's going to give me phone to call her. Then after like 5 months, I see she not coming back. I call her again. She said that she's writing an exam. She don't want me to.
It's very simple. So this is the only person that knows. How old? Hold on. How old is your sister?
I'm 18. She's 18. She's my twin sister.
But you people should have one kind of connection that you just close your eyes. You're especially twins, and you can just see her and you know where she is. You people have one kind of connection. So you know what? That's a joke. What you can do, since that is the only person. Do you know where this your aunt lives?
I don't know. In fact, the day before today I call her, she just asked me what did I want. I said, she said, no. She just said I'm disturbing her. She cut off the call.
How old is your auntie?
I don't know. She's not my dad's relative. I don't know.
She's your dad's relative. Has your dad also called her to get the number?
I called my dad. I talked to my dad about it. Do you know what my dad told me? That I should forget about that. That we are going to meet. That's what he does. I don't. In fact,
Which kind family be this one? No? Your father told you to forget about your sister. That is his own daughter.
Right now, every time you keep talking about sexual violence stuff, every time.
So it's very simple. You know what? Reach out to me after the program. We would use other means to locate, but then to get your auntie first, then your auntie will lead to your sister, and then we would know. But Oga, this if we find out that your sister, no, let me. We will talk after.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you. Let's read the phone lines. Yes, let's go. Somebody else.
More call 0201-277-0993.
Make your papa talk, say, forget about your sister, your family, your auntie.
You should have not sold that child.
But sold her how? Or is she being used
It's a
for?
thing in this part of the world where people just collect loans and then say, have my child.
And
It
that
is.
is, I know that to be, I should have asked where they are from. Jesus.
I think he mentioned Jos.
Okay, please, any other person on the line?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hello?
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
My name is Tochukwu, calling from Ujueleba.
How are you, sir? Go ahead.
Okay. That last caller that called, that boy that said that
Yes.
that I'm suspecting that there's something fishy going on, because if the auntie does not give the boy's number, there's something.
Yeah, we will find out. We will find out. Thank you very much. We will find out. We will find out. We will find
And I
out.
want to say
30
sir,
seconds.
I want to ask a question.
Go
I want
ahead.
to ask a question.
30 seconds. Go ahead.
Okay. How can you identify a sexual predator?
You can't identify them. They are everywhere. They are in the pulpit. They are in the congregation. They are in the pastorate. They are in your family. They are in your it could even be your immediate family, your blood brother or sister. They are everywhere. They are in your offices. They are in your children's schools. They are teachers. They are accountants. They are doctors. They are everywhere. There is no look. The only way you catch them is in the act.
Okay, sir. Thanks, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, more calls 0201-277-0993, 0201-465-7190. There are messages on the WhatsApp line.
Go ahead.
And someone says, the father protects, instructs, and provides. What are the functions of the mother? What if any of the parent dies? Should the one that is alive not perform all the responsibilities as such? Godwin from Ibadan. I have a call. Do you want to answer this?
That actually requires just common sense. If there is a father and mother, the mother dies, the father will take over the roles. If the father dies, the mother takes over. So I don't understand if it was a question.
I'm not quite sure myself.
Maybe it was a sentence, a statement.
All right. Hello. What's your name and where are you calling from? Frank from where?
Lekki.
All right, Frank from Lekki. Talk to us.
Frank,
Okay.
go ahead. Please speak louder, Frank. Frank, John Torio Long, Sorosuke.
Speak up.
Sorosuke, speak up.
Okay.
Are you somewhere you can talk, or you are not comfortable where you are?
No, I'm comfortable where I am.
Oh yeah, speak up.
Yes. So what I'm saying is, how can I need you to advise me on how to forgive?
I can't say whatever happened. I can't try.
It was.
Somebody I love so much, and I carry her. And
So
and she actually betrayed me.
she actually what?
So she betrayed him.
Betrayed me. Yeah, like seriously, like, and yeah, I'm a very forgiving person. Normally, I don't put things to her. Like, I don't take people serious at all because I've known what human beings are. But for one reason, I can't speak to my mom. Yeah,
Okay.
So I always, no matter how much I feel like, oh, I've healed, I've left a long time ago. I just walk the way we don't call each other. We don't understand.
Okay. So
How much I just go back to being very angry.
very angry. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so angry at myself, angry at my mom, angry at
Your dad, is your dad alive?
Yeah.
Is your dad aware?
I don't think so. I know he knows this and what's the between me and my mom, but I don't think he knows.
So nobody knows what happened between you and your mom. Is that what you're saying?
But the entire family knows actually. My sister knows. My sister is actually I think it was. Yeah, but like I said, I don't explain things.
Yeah, yes. So what I can tell you is that they say forgive and forget, right? But that is not possible. If we forgot, we forget everything that happens, then we will never learn a lesson because we would have forgotten the lesson. So I think where you are is not so much as the forgiving, but each time you remember, it is a painful thing. So the pain attached to that trauma, to that memory, triggers. It's not a matter of forgiving. It's a matter of it takes you back to that moment, almost the same anger you felt because of the. So it's the letting. It's time. It's time. It's time. There's no procedure for healing. There's no medicine for healing. It's time. The thing with time is that it takes the sting off some venom. If before you break 10 bottles each time you remember, after some time you start breaking 6, after some time 5, time just has that thing. And then try not to let the person trigger you. The best thing to do is to walk away. Walking away is not malice. Walking away is to protect yourself.
Actually, I have actually walked away, like I said.
So just maintain that for a while, and then time does something. It helps in this. Well, there. Thank you for listening and reaching out. I appreciate it. Yeah, please go ahead.
More callers on the line. I can't seem to be able to pick this particular call. I don't know why. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
This is Norbert from Golden.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, good morning. I really appreciate you job you're doing, Barrister.
Thank you.
I want to speak briefly concerning the issue of where religion relates to shielding family members from consequences. Now, I don't know how it got there, but it is very easy to become a reader when you try to talk about why are you praying when you see a child in the family, for instance, the child is being molested, and even when there's a spousal disagreement and you see the husband or the wife is being abused, instead of you to take proper actions, you say let us pray about it. In my church, I vehemently say, even if you want to pray about it, separate first. But whenever you mention these lines, you see you as being, you're not following the doctrine, you need to pray, you have to scatter the family, all manner. I say, well, before you talk about scattering the family, why, if you are praying and the person dies, what would you now tell God? I don't understand.
That's what they will say, that it is as God pleases.
God's intentions for us are of good and not of evil. So
Thank you.
Getting those kind of funny. The religion blinds, even the wise, religion blinds the wise. Hallelujah.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I did a course some years ago, but I think the first round of what I did, and there was a pastor from one of these CAC churches. He always had a problem with that yeah, I was in one of those branches, and it was a pastor there, and he said, "What I'm telling him here will get him in trouble, but this is what he feels." I think after a while, after he graduated, and he reached out to me that they have removed him because he said that the person who was beating the wife should be removed, and this and this, there should be a police matter. They said that the Spirit of God has departed from him, that he is now talking like so and so. Religion in the right, it's terrible. It's when it clouds you, and humanity no longer carries weight. When we lose our humanity, empathy and sympathy that an animal will have for its own young, and we find a reason through religion. Religion is not meant to exonerate wrong. You will account for what you do. Everybody will be judged. But here you say, no, we cannot excuse what he did, so he will repeat and repeat and repeat. It is well. Let's move to the next.
More calls on the line. Yeah, we still have the same problem. Let's see.
I've not heard a female caller.
That's because I don't know, the female line is having issues.
Please, then let them call. Let everybody.
I don't know how to get around that. But yeah, they are calling.
But
like,
picking.
I can't pick the call.
Okay, please can we tell them to call the main line?
You can call the main line 0201-277-0993. For now, let's see what can be done about this female line. We see your calls, we just can't pick them right now.
Please give them the mail line again.
0201-277-0993. Hello. Hello.
Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Yeah, my name is Shooks. I'm calling from Akute. There's a lady called last week that she's from Umoyima in Owerri.
Yes.
Concerning their tradition, that the
Don't greet. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm calling to refute that statement. It's wrong. She made a very wrong statement, and she's passing a wrong assertion about the Owerri people. You know, immediately I called. I'm married from.
Go ahead.
I am from Nazi.
Go ahead.
I am from Nazi, the next community to Owerri, and there are about 5 communities in Owerri general that have the same tradition. That's Owerri, Nazi, Ebu.
So you are basically calling to say that she lied.
She was wrong.
No,
Lied.
is it that she lied? Okay.
She
So
lied. It
so
was wrong information.
so here we have a problem when you call and speak for not only the community, you speak for every family. That is wrong as well. She said that was what she was raised as with her mom, and it caused a problem in her own marriage because in the beginning she did not greet, and she said that now she doesn't do it anymore. You now call and say that it is a lie.
I listened to the
Hold on, sir. You can't say, listen, sir, you cannot say that it is a lie. I have lived in my own part of Ondo State. I come from Akure North. There are different families and family traditions. There are community traditions. There are tribal traditions. You can't say for an entire area. You cannot speak for all the families in their say that. Please just tell me that, well, maybe in their side though.
It is not their side. Owerri people have the same tradition and custom.
All across.
That the five communities in the world that make up
Okay.
the metropolis
Okay.
have the same tradition, the same custom.
Okay,
There's
you are
no
right, sir.
family that has a different tradition or a different custom. No family.
Thank you,
Let
sir.
her call back and tell us
her father's family. Then we'll locate and we'll go and
You will go and look for her family. Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
We'll locate her.
Thank
because
you.
Owerri people are one.
Thank you
Everybody
very
knows
much.
everybody in Owerri.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. You are right.
More callers on the line 0201 2770993. Hopefully, this is a woman. Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Tony.
How are you?
Fine.
Please go ahead.
I'm from Egebubu in Owerri. No?
Mm.
There's nothing like such tradition that when a woman, a wife who greets the husband, the day or when the husband dies. Nothing like that, except within their family. Within their family, guys, something they worship. Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Except between her mother and the father, they now worship something else. That is the condition given to them, or maybe they belong to one court or the other. But
Sorry, sir.
tradition. Yeah.
Please, your name again.
My name is Tony.
Mr. Tony, thank you for the way you constructed. You said except in their family, except maybe they worship something. And I really appreciate that because that is the right way to say it. That we are not aware except that family. And that's why I say you cannot speak. Now, Owerri spans 104 kilometers squared. So when people say they know every family in 104 kilometers, I don't believe that. It is impossible. I don't even know the number of families in my local government, not to talk of the entire town. Do you understand? But the way you have spoken, sir, I really thank you very much. I applaud the way your composure and your construct of English. Thank you. Maybe it is their family because other people are not aware. There are family traditions. Oh, that one I know very well. So that's why I said, please don't let people start calling into. Please don't call in to talk about Owerri again. No, please let us have.
Barrister, this is Moses calling from Lekki. How have you been?
Moses, you will start arguing with me now. Oh yeah, you have 30 seconds. You will say that you have not called in 4 months.
All these years, you know now, but I've been listening to you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
I just even came back from that place I just talking about.
Owerri.
I was there for like 2 months, yes. I did not hear anything like that, but all I know is that they say their women, they had to marry because they too like money.
So you came back without a bride. You just went and came back with nobody.
Imagine I was looking for a bride, but I could not get it. And they're fine, though.
And you went to where you went to where money was the issue, and then you came back. You have not even met their tradition. Thank you. Yes, I heard that they are very. Yes, I heard that. So I'm just looking at Owerri, and the 2006 census recorded 127,213 in the municipal area alone. You know, they are going to almost 1 million. And when somebody says they know everybody, it is impossible for you to.
So Owerri is made of.
It is impossible. So let's just look at the way Mr. Tony constructed it.
No, here's the thing. He is trying to say, look, it may look for those who are not familiar, it may look like it's a very big country.
More news and information coming up.
We'll be back in a moment.
So let me fire this back on our perch like we never left. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is Relationship 360. We're still with the barrister in the studio, and he's in the mood to take calls. Yes, officially we fixed the issue with the female lines, so please everybody call in. not everybody, women, everybody that is a woman that
So
can give birth,
let's just-
please call him.
Ah.
No, that can biologically can give birth
Okay.
now. You get what I mean? Biologically, only
I
women can
don't
give
get
birth.
now.
So if you know that you can biologically give birth, is your God-given right to give birth, call that line. If you are not, please stay on this side of things. Stay on the male line of
Let's
things.
just go straight for that.
0201-277-0993. That's where I'm picking, but I need you to call 0201-465-7190. Let me take some messages. Yeah, some messages here. Somebody's talking. It's crazy how conversations can become. Hello. Hello, I picked your call. Oh. Yeah, okay. Don't call the line again if you're not serious about talking. Yeah, I have this message here that says, please help me. My wife inflicts injuries on my children. Please, I need a human rights number. Good morning, barrister. How I wish I had this teaching before I married. Now, it's hell for me because she's extremely violent. Remember I told you how she put one of my children's hand on hot gas knife from start light. But the day I fight back, she nearly died. Yet she's not repenting.
Why haven't you gone to the police? You don't need human. When you say human rights, you are your own human rights. You know what is right. You know what is wrong. If it is called child abuse, just go straight to the police station. They would escalate it. That is child abuse. That is, in fact, put the child's hand.
Hot gas knife. That is
Okay, let me not.
hot gas. Hot
So
gas.
what is he waiting for exactly?
So his name is Kunle
No, but
from Starlight.
what is he waiting for exactly? Is it the death of a child? What exactly is he waiting
Maybe
for?
until the child loses the hand.
Please, let's go ahead.
Okay, more messages. This is not Kofi. Good morning, the Lord. This is the best program on radio. There is nowhere you can learn what we are learning here on this program. Baba KK
Thank you
from
very
Ogun
much.
State.
Thank
So as
you
it
very
says, there is a presupposition that everyone that goes into marriage is an adult. But why blame parents for expressing their views or preferring to help their children work out issues in their marriage?
If
The decision remains that if the adults in the marriage, the decision remains that if the adults in the marriage want to leave or want to stay because they are not children, instead of blaming parents, emphasis should be on grooming people to be adults before they engage in marriage.
So all that to say that there is no parental influence. I handled the case 2 weeks ago at the gender unit. Do you know that the mother showed up in the man's matrimonial home with another woman who the family had gone to pay bride price for? And this wife was pregnant. His legitimate wife was pregnant. The family, the mother-in-law did not want and went to marry another woman, paid the bride price in the village and brought into the matrimonial home. And because the man, so I never seen it before.
I don't want to sound cliche.
No, they now chased out the brothers of the husband. Now went to call the police to drive out the
real wife.
The real wife. That they
Was
have
it successful?
It was brought to the gender unit in Ikeja. While the wife was 8 months pregnant, they couldn't even wait for her to first deliver that child first. You now bring what can even cause, and you are telling me instead of blaming we are talking about parents that influence negatively the decisions or the marriages of their children. Don't try to come and, I don't like, well, it is expected. This is not for everybody.
I suspect this is a woman sending in this message. It's a good job you're doing here. Please, for a woman who has kids and is going through neglect, physical, financial, and psychological abuse from their husband.
I think I'm reading that too.
What does she do? I am ready to leave, but don't have enough cash. What do you advise? Her name is Buchi.
Do you have family? The first thing a child should always rely on, that is supposed to be there through thick and thin, is family, father and mother. Except they are not in support, which then women, I have told you, you must have a job, you must have savings. Remember, I came here and I mentioned that you must have land. Remember that I brought, a deal that for half a plot of land, this and this and this, because women should have that. They are the most vulnerable when you have nothing to fall back on. You have to get money, you have to leave. That is what I would tell you. You have to find it. You have to get a job, get busy. If you have to borrow, then borrow. You have to get business, extra income. I have just 4 minutes more.
Okay.
No, I've never.
No, it's not 4 minutes. No, it's more than 4 minutes.
No, to round up.
Okay.
To round up.
Females, please call in. The female line is open now. 0201 465 7190.
Hello, good morning.
Okay, that works too. Let's see. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Barrister.
Female at
Good
last.
morning.
Thank you very much for calling in.
Barrister, I pray that God will continue to give you for good.
Amen.
For humanity.
Amen. You too, man.
So, this is Nkem from Barika.
Yeah, that's a man.
He's a man.
So
You came
disappointing.
and you heard me say a woman at
I
last,
called you a woman,
and you did not
and
even
you
say,
did-
"Oh, this is a man."
That's so sad.
Oh.
I will look for you.
Barrister, do you know that some traditions which we are using in our side, many of us know nothing about it. When something like that, when I begin to know something about our own tradition, I never knew something like that before. But it was when something that lead me to that tradition, particular thing happens to me, that is when I notice that something like that is happening. Maybe the tradition is no more, they are no more practicing.
No. Okay. Thank you very much, Nkem. Thank you very
Nkem,
much.
You
You're
should
taking
have
us.
gone straight.
You should
to
have
the
gone
point.
straight into what.
Yes.
yeah.
Good morning.
You are calling the female line. Don't do that. Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
No. What's your gender?
I'm calling from my town.
This is a woman. I'm sure this is a woman. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Mr. Adeola.
All right.
From my town.
Okay,
Thank
go
Jesus.
ahead, man. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Please, I've been looking for where can I get this solution from. Because something
Solution.
happened in my area. A adult man, for that matter, mature grown-up man, raped a small little girl. So as the father of that child went to go and arrest that man. But at the end of the day, the man came back. So when I asked from my fellow neighbors that how come they not release this man for this crime that they are going to sleep with this kind of a small girl. So they said that the senior brother who has money, that they went to go and tell the senior brother that nails that person from the
What police station is that?
I think this one is our area there.
What police station? Ogombo police station.
Yes.
Please get the facts. Be sure, and then reach out to listen to my number and reach out.
All right. Thank you.
Number, B?
No, you listen. Have
Listen,
you,
listen,
Have you
just
heard this
listen.
program before?
Keep listening. We'll call out the number for you.
Okay, sir.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, the female lines 0201 2770993. We want to keep.
Okay.
No,
you
sorry,
can-
that's the male line. 0201 465 7190. We want to keep that.
Okay,
straight
please let's
flow.
see if we can have
Hello?
one more female before I round up.
Hello. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, good morning. I remain anonymous. I'm calling from Surulere.
Okay. Talk to us.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
I want to thank you for all the things you have been doing. God bless you.
Amen. Amen. We thank God.
When you play this Usunachi song this morning, I was full of tears because the issue of the deliverance happened to me directly. I got married, and this man were doing everything. He lost his business, and I was the one carrying the family and everything. But when I came to tell my family this is what I'm going through, they will tell me I should just wait. The church will tell me that doesn't support it. Until 2016, that he beat me. The first beating was when I was pregnant for my second daughter. He beat me and locked me up and was. When I called my family people, they said there is no family that doesn't have issue. In 2016, he beat me, and one of my eyes took me 2 days before I could walk. But I just want to thank God. Now I'm on my own with my 2 girls. They are in secondary school. What I'm telling everybody is that don't support issue of stay, don't worry, things will come up, things will normalize. Church have jeopardized everything. My pastor was telling me that time, Sister, wait, you will come back, but we never come back. But I thank God I'm alive today with my 2 girls taking care of them. One is 15, one is
Thank you.
12.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for
very much for
listening.
that.
Your voice, your demeanor is so you could see that. I want to round up.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Madam. Okay, go ahead.
I just want to say thank you for what you are doing for humanity.
Yeah,
And
thank God.
in addition, could you kind of tell us where we can get your book to buy? Just before I do,
Yes.
I want to purchase some of the copies for my granddaughter's place.
Oh, thank you very much, man. It's just before you say I do. It's 10,000. Please just reach out to me directly. Then let me just start by rounding up. So the purple curtain is next week, from at number 14 Ogunlana Drive from 12 to 3. And the first 10 people will get a free copy of my book. So every third Saturday of the month, we have a program called the Purple Curtain, where I would be there, in person, in collaboration with the University of Marriage. I will be there from 12 to 3 to answer any question. Also, people who are going through difficulties in marriages and may need help or counsel, they come. Singles, married, everybody. It is free of charge to attend. And it is 12 to 3. Please, the first 10 people again will get a free copy. Someone bought 120 copies and is giving 10 to every, so it's not me, it is actually someone else. Apostle Folorunsho Alakija, thank you very much for that. She bought and is giving to people, because she believes that this would help. And she approached me and said, you know what, how many do I have left? And she just bought everything and is giving people. So I really appreciate her for that. Now, something happened during the week that I must let you know. I got a call from someone in Abeson Estate in Alimosho, talking about a man who showed up some years ago with a child, a female child, and said to everybody that this is my daughter. They said, oh wow, they were not aware that he even had a wife, or there was no marriage. So the family asked, okay, where is the mother? He, till today, has not told anyone who the mother is of the child.
Where she is, for that matter.
Where she is. They just know that he showed up with a girl and said this is his daughter. So this and other things led him to be estranged from his family. very angry. The moment you ask about the mother of the child, there will be a problem. So, he threatens and all that. And I got a call that they are concerned that he is sexually abusing the girl. I said, why? He said he locks up the girl, that the girl has been locked up for 6 years. He brought the girl when she was 3, going to be 4, and now the girl is about 19, 20. So minus 3, that means she's been locked up for 17 years. I said, does she go to school? Well, they said initially she started going to school, but when they noticed at one time that it was as if she was pregnant, and when they asked questions, he just stopped the girl from coming outside and has locked her up ever since. I also reached out to someone who is a relative. They got my number, and also they confirmed that story, that they are concerned that the man is sexually abusing the child. So we have volunteers in Alimosho, and some of our volunteers, I really must praise those who joined our volunteer group, went around the Abeson Estate, block N1, N for non-entity, N1, N for Naira, no, Naira is better, N for Naira, N1, block N1. So with that, I wrote a petition to the Commissioner of Police, and through the Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of Gender Ikeja, and it was approved. And they sent a signal to Area P to apprehend this man and the girl and bring them down to Ikeja Command, that is the gender unit. That was done, I think, on Tuesday. So he was arrested. When they went with some of our volunteers. The girl was unclad. The man was very indecently dressed with the girl. The man is about 70 years old. And they were brought, the man started, he was very, very aggressive, very shouting, threatening that he's this, he's that. They brought him and, we sat down. Unfortunately, we found that this girl now had mental health issues. She no longer talks. It was, we tried our best. I even danced. The Assistant Commissioner of Police sang, was clapping just to make her feel comfortable. She would smile. But when this man speaks to her, she understands. But if any other person speaks to her, she doesn't understand. So I said that they had to detain and separate them, because I believe that if this girl is kept away from this man, she will start talking. Every attempt to get a statement, the man would say different stories. It was, he threatened, in fact, at the time it threatened the IPO, and eventually we separated them. He was locked up, and then the girl was put in a shelter. At night, the girl got up and started hitting her head on the burglary proof, hitting her head on the sink. The officers had to rush in, use mattresses to cover the burglary proof so that she won't hit her head, and it became very terrible. They were like, the way this man is talking, are you sure this man, he cannot touch his child? They started cursing that those people that said he did this and did that, he has never, when he was in America, this and that and that. He's old, and it's 70 years, I said. So the following day, I insisted on a medical test. The girl was taken to Mirabel, and that Mirabel Center in Lasuf, and that was where everything busted. The girl had been so sexually abused, that it was terrible. The doctors were not happy with what they saw. It got worse when they gave her a tube to urinate in so that they could have a sample. Instead, she took the tube and inserted it into herself and started masturbating with the tube. So they were now trying to get it out of her, and she was, she just started urinating everywhere, on the personnel, on the police officers, trying to. And we saw that she had been so traumatized with sexual abuse that Even when they got back, I was still playing with her. That was wrong. She said she wasn't, she started talking 20%. She wasn't feeling okay. So I said, where? Is it your chest? Is it your hand? She now showed me her hand, and when I held her hand, it was cold. So I tried to rub to make it warm. She just grabbed my hand and put it straight, pulled her pants down and put my hand right there, and I pulled it out. And she was like there. Everything she holds, she tries to put it right there in. So everyone now saw that, the whole investigation changed. Yesterday at Abesson, the officers went there to, to visit the scene of the crime. He never allowed anybody enter the house. The house had not had light for 20 years. His flat in Block N1 Abesson Estate. What they saw inside the flat, there was also a concern that he has an older sister. The flat was their father's flat. They inherited it, himself and his older sister. One day, the older sister just got missing. He never reported it. He never declared. Until the family came and was asking, where is his older sister, who was a retiree? He didn't say. He got angry. Anybody that would ask him about the older sister, he never reported she was missing. They never buried her. We just don't know where she is. And then, the man, the people in Abesson, a lot of residents were angry at the police. They said they had reported 3 times. Each time the police would release him, that they reported at this one area, they reported at this area. And each time the man, brags about money. They say he has money, but he has no job. He has not worked for over 20, 30 years. So where does he get his money from? They said he always offered a bribe. So my people went, and right there in his flat, there were nylon bags, there was money, and he offered us money and the police officers. But of course, we told them that this was not just the normal police, we were from the office of the Commissioner of Police. The house was not, it was more like a shrine. It was, I have never seen anything like that. But the residents of Abesson were angry with the police. They refused to, we were pleading with them. We need information to prosecute. We know this girl has been sexually abused, yes, but a lot of them know what was wrong, how he locked her up for years in that flat till now. She ran mad 3 years ago. Everybody knew, even the family member came and said this girl was okay. Now, from this station, I will be leaving immediately to Abesson Estate, to Block N1. I want to meet with them, to plead with them. Everyone who has information, we need this information to prosecute this man. If you do not give us, we will not be able to, and he will be released. Although we have taken the girl, she's in a shelter, we need them to cooperate with us. Thankfully, we reached out to the president of the estate, and he has said, very fantastic, and Mr. Femi Aldeyemi, who have said the president of the association will meet with us there. I'm leaving right now to Abesson Estate with the police officers. Please come out if you have information, especially in Block N1. You give us information, you have to be able to give us, write a statement that we can use to prosecute. Please, it's very important. For those that might want to reach out to me, 0909-3214-942. 0909-321-4942. And please, your support is always what we use to help out people in this matter. God bless you. See you next week.